What's up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new story. Today we have a crazy story of a kid who gets revenge on his bully by doing something with his actual sister and telling everyone. It is absolutely crazy. You do not want to miss it. So sit back, relax, subscribe if you're new, leave a like, you're free nothing, and let's just jump right into it. So we're going to call the subscriber who submitted this story Josh. And there was a bully in Josh's school, and this bully all of a sudden started to really like to pick on Josh. So this story all starts one day when Josh is simply walking down the halls in school. Bro is just trying to go to his next class. Bro is just trying to be a studious student of this school. He's just trying to be a role model. He's trying to go to college, even though he's in 11th grade. I don't know, man. He's just trying to be a good student. And all of a sudden, right, this bully, who we're just going to call the bully, sees this as a perfect opportunity to embarrass him in front of everyone. So basically, Josh is walking along, probably looking on his phone, probably thinking about the next class he has, or the girl he wants to talk to, or how Miss Rodrigo is assigning too much Spanish homework, or there's a lot of things on his mind. But the last thing on his mind right now is the fact that this bully will come over and trip him in front of everyone. But sure enough, the bully, in very classical fashion, sticks out his leg and trips him. So Josh is not even paying attention when he gets hooked by the bully's leg, and he falls flat on his face. And the thing that made it even worse was the backpack on Josh's back was unzipped, meaning that when he fell forward, all of his books in his backpack slid out as well. So, the thing is, it would have been a completely different story, or at least a very different story, if the bully did this when no one else was looking. When everyone else was somewhere else and it was literally just him and the bully, that would have inflicted a lot of damage on Josh, and it was obviously a big jerk thing to do. However, it was even worse. And it was even worse because the bully did it when everybody was there. So everyone watched as the bully basically embarrassed Josh in front of everyone. So Josh, the bully's ha ha ha, whatever, lol, got you, or whatever, and he walks away. And a lot of kids are just kind of looking and staring. One of Josh's friends comes over, he's like, hey man, are you good? Are you hurt? And Josh is like, yeah. What even happened? Because Josh didn't even realize right away that the bully tripped him over. He legit thought that he just wasn't even paying attention and tripped on a speed bump in the hallway. He doesn't even know what he tripped on, right? And Josh's friend is picking up his backpack, his books, and putting them back in his backpack. He's like, man, you know the bully? He's like, yeah, sure. He's like, yeah, he just tripped you. And Josh is like, oh no. And Josh isn't just saying this because no one wants to be tripped by the bully in front of everyone. He's saying this because this bully in particular, right, is when he targets someone, he targets them for a long time. Basically, he doesn't bully everyone equally. He chooses one person and he goes in hard. The bully goes in full force for just one person. So Josh is like, oh, geez, because he knows that he is the next person that the bully is going to go full force in. Anyways, the next time something happens is a couple days later. So Josh and the bully have a class together, and the teacher is handing back quizzes that they just took. Remember, the quizzes are not a super large part of the grade, but they are still, it's testing your knowledge. And Josh did not study the night before. He was up late, gaming with the boys. I don't know what he was doing. He's on Minecraft. He's on Roblox. He was doing something, right? And he did not actually put in the time to study, which it's always good to study, guys. Come on now. Anyways, though, Josh did not do so well in this quiz. You don't beat yourself up over it. Life happens. But sure enough, the teacher hands it back, and Josh did not get a grade that he thought was very good. However, the bully saw this, and in front of everyone says, hey, Josh, nice 62 on the test, dummy. And everyone turns around to hear this, and everybody looks at Josh, and Josh's face goes bright red. So sure enough, the teacher's like, hey, bully, you can't be saying that. Just step out of the class and think about what you did. So yeah, the bully was kicked out of the class, but that didn't even matter, bro, because the damage was done. Thing is, right, Josh, he just didn't want everyone to know that he didn't do well in this assignment, because Josh was a decent student, but everyone has those days. Everyone has those moments where you just don't get it together. And Josh had a moment, and everyone was told about it. So that was the second thing that the bully did. So at this point, Josh is starting to get really fed up. And he basically is like, he tells his friend, like later on that day, he's like, dude, that bully doesn't know what I can do, bro. Because Josh was already coming up with a diabolical plan to absolutely ruin the bully, to absolutely wreck him beyond wrecking. That he had a diabolical plan that I'm not going to tell you about yet, but if you saw the thumbnail of this video, you might have a decent idea of what that is. If you want to, comment down below right now what you think what Josh is going to do to the bully if the bully bullies him one more time. And don't edit your comments if you're wrong. I can see it. No cheating. Also, leave a like down there if you haven't already for your very own free nothing. Anyways, though, Josh is telling his friend, bro, this bully doesn't want to mess with me. He does not want to mess with me. Like, he does not want to do it because I know exactly what I'm going to do to absolutely wreck him, right? And his friend's like, dude, like, you should have let him know. So Josh is like, all right, that's only fair. So Josh goes up to the bully the next day. And the bully's like hanging out with his like little minions or whatever, being all confident, being all like, oh, I'm the best guy ever, whatever, right? And he sees Josh come up to him and he's like, oh, had enough? You know, you can't take it anymore, little guy? Well, Josh, you know what? If you pay me $50 right now, I'll stop. And Josh looks super shocked because here's the things, guys. $50 is a lot of money, but especially when you're a kid and you have no way to make any money, $50 might as well be $1 billion because the odds of you getting $1 billion are about the same as you getting $50 within the span of a year, right? So at this point, Josh is like, what? Because remember, Josh was going up to the bully to give him a chance, right? To give him a second chance, or not a first chance to like, not basically the wrath that he's about to bring. So sure enough, Josh is like, no. In fact, I'm going to give you a chance for free to like stop all this nonsense, and because you'll regret it if you don't. In all fairness, Josh was not being specific about it because he wanted to make sure that the bully didn't thwart his plans if he needed to go to such extremes, which he may or may not. We'll have to wait and see. And the bully laughs at him. The bully literally buckles over laughing. And the bully definitely was laughing extra hard, almost to like assert his dominance and show everyone that he did not care what Josh said and that if Josh threatened him, that doesn't matter at all because he's the bully and he's in charge around here, man. He's in charge unlike anyone else. And sure enough, the bully's like buckling over laughing, being like, you think that you can like pull any weight with me, bud? Like, do you know who I am? You know what? Just for that, I'm going to double your charge to $100. If you want me to stop messing with you, it's going to cost you $100. And Josh is like, that's your mistake, man. One more move against me and you're done. Sure enough, the bully's like, oh, Josh, so is that a challenge then? And Josh is like, no, it's a warning, bro. So they're basically, it's a big standoff. Everyone in the halls is watching this. This kind of Josh versus the bully has almost turned into like the mainstream YouTuber fights. Like everyone's watching Logan Paul versus whoever, right? Everyone's watching the MMA fighting fights at this point. And it's basically the same thing with Josh and the bully. So sure enough, the bully, he swings one more time. Not physically, but basically Josh gets home and he sees this image on everybody's Snapchat story. It's basically all over his friends, whatever. Maybe not his friends, but is just floating around on the internet. And he sees that the bully has posted a photo of Josh on Instagram. And this photo is edited. And there's a certain body part that is edited onto Josh's face, where his nose would be. Yeah, the bully made a fake edited photo in Photoshop or one of those like photo editing apps. It basically put a part on Josh's face and yeah, started posting it everywhere. So it literally went everywhere. Every single kid was like, oh my God, lol, this is so funny or whatever. And Josh was like, you know what? He's gone too far. I gave him a warning. What I do next is literally just the course of nature, and it's not my fault. Whatever happens next is the bully's fault. It's not my fault. So I think a few of you guys know what's about to happen, but let me just say that the bully is about to be wrecked beyond any comprehension, and the bully has no idea what's coming. If you made it this far into the video, comment bully down below. That'll be the secret word of the day. I will try to heart as many comments as I can that say bully. Obviously, subscribe if you're new, leave a like to claim your free nothing. And as always, the best way to support the channel is after this video, go ahead and watch another one of my older videos, or just go ahead and binge watch my old story videos, or just any videos after this one. An easy way to do that is in the pinned comment down below. I have a playlist of all my story videos. Click on that, let it run while you're doing something else. And anyways, let's get back in the story as the bully's about to get owned big time. So anyways, at this point, Josh, the next day, goes up to the bully. And when the bully sees him, he buckles down laughing, saying, uh-oh, pee-pee face is coming. Uh-oh, pee-pee face, right? So this bully's pretty immature. And Josh goes up to him and says, hey, bro, look, I just wanted to say I warned you. And he walks off, all ominously. The bully thinks he was just trying to pull some bluff. I think the bully thinks that he was just trying to scare him. But Josh decided to do a little bit more than just scare him. So later that night, the bully had a sister in their grade who went to a neighboring school but still lived in the neighborhood. Josh also had a friend who went to this neighboring school. So Josh calls up his friend and says, hey, do you know so-and-so, aka the sister of the bully? And the friend's like, yeah, actually, I talked to her a little bit. Like, what do you want? He's like, I want you to set me up with her on a date. And the guy's like, bet, let me get back to you. 2 hours later, Josh gets a phone call from his friend. He picks it up. He's like, hey, any word? His friend's like, yeah, I showed her your Instagram, showed her some photos of you, gave you a really nice rep, and Josh waits patiently, and she's in tonight. And Josh is like, yes, part 1 complete. So sure enough, Josh arrives at, I don't know, their local, ice cream shop or a diner type thing. He sits down. He sees this girl. This girl's actually kind of cute, bro. Like, Josh is kind of rocking with this right now. But he also knows this is not a long-term thing. But he sits down, and he has a great conversation with her. He has a splendid time talking. They hit it off right away. And Josh can tell right away that she is very into him. I mean, she's looking at him, kind of giving him these eyes, kind of like, I don't know, reaching across the table a little bit, definitely playing a little bit of footsie. Like, she's definitely into him, bro. She's just definitely into him at this point. And Josh is, he's reciprocating a little bit. And the thing is, though, he makes it very clear, like, he's trying to avoid at all costs, like, that he knows the bully. Because I think she says, oh, you go to so-and-so, like, the whatever school? Like, oh, must know my brother. He's like, I think I recognize the name. I probably recognize the face, but I just don't know him like that. Because worst case scenario, actually, an okay case scenario, but not the best one, is that, she's like, oh my God, my brother, let me FaceTime him. And the bully's like, oh my God, you went on a date with my sister? You guys might be thinking that would have been an epic own, but you don't understand how much more of an epic own Josh wants with this. He's about to Death Star this guy. If the bully was Alderaan, he's about to be the Death Star, bro. It's about to be a KO 100%. So yeah, at this point, they're done eating or whatever, and Josh is like, hey, do you wanna go back to my place? And she's like, well, I got nothing better to do. And so Josh's parents are gone. Or they're gone at least for a little while, right? And he knows this. They're gone until 9, but they let him stay around until then. And so Josh brings her back to the house, and they sit on their couch, and they make out or whatever. They do whatever they want to do, right? And at this point, she is it's a little while later. They got a Netflix show on. She is just leaning, she's half asleep on him, imagine she's sitting right next to him and leaning up on him. Josh is like, hey, take a photo for one of my friends, right? So he takes a Snapchat and he sends it to one of his friends, and he sees immediately the screenshot notification because he doesn't want to be the one who spreads this, but he knows for a fact that if he sends this photo to one of his boys, they're going to spread it literally everywhere. So yeah, within 10 minutes, he sees 15 Snapchat private stories with the screenshot. The captions are like, oh no, he didn't. Another caption's like, my boy's a dog. Oh my God. Another caption's like, hey man, justice is justice, bro. And within legitimately 2 hours, everyone in the school knows what happened. So yeah, tables turned a little bit. So the next day, Josh gets into school, and he sees the bully at the end of the hallway. And instead of the bully walking up to him all confident like he was before, with all this swagger, like, yeah, man, you don't want to mess with me. No. The bully literally turns and walks in the other direction. And Josh is like, Mr. Bully, says his actual name, where you going, man? We got some talking to do. And the bully is not trying to have any of it because he knows that he will be owned. But however, the bully makes a wrong corner and literally gets stuck. Like almost like a group of people block him off. So Josh confronts the bully. He's like, hey, man, how's it going? Bully's like, oh, it's going great, actually, bro. He's like, you know where I was last night? He's like, oh, no, being stupid like always. And Josh is like, okay, here's the kill shot, man. Here's the kill shot. He's like, well, you don't need to know where I was. But if you knew where your sister was, you know exactly where I was. And everyone's like, no way, you just said that. Whole crowd goes, oh, because everyone's seen the photo this time. And they were like waiting for waiting for the match in the tinderbox just to send the whole thing on fire. Everyone's like, oh, you know that kind of gif of like all the people being like after someone says a roast and everyone freaks out. Basically that times 10 for everyone. So the bully legit turns around and gets out of there. Everyone's like, oh my God, the king has been dethroned. All hail Josh. Everyone's freaking out or whatever. And yeah, needless to say, the bully did not mess with him after that point because he didn't want the smoke. Because the truth is, if the bully was to mess with him at any point after then, you know, Josh would have the perfect comeback. It wouldn't be words. It wouldn't be physical like fighting or anything. It would literally be taking out his phone, going through his camera roll, finding this very specific photo that got sent around, holding it up to the bully's face, then holding it up to everyone else around, and basically saying, and here I rest my case.
Click on the video on screen right now. I know you'll enjoy it. Just click it. Do it.